Blog Talk Radio.
Welcome to Unveiling Valor, Captain Len Kaine's journey from naval hero to humanitarian luminary with your host Captain Len Kaine and President of the Hope Collection Ron Clayton. We would like to thank our sponsors, extend our deepest gratitude to the Hope Collection and Joel and Ardith Griffing for their unwavering support in making a positive impact on our community. Our generosity empowers us to reach further, dream bigger, and extend a helping hand to those in need.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Friday edition of Optimize Your Life and the Golden Rule Society, the international blog radio show that goes out on 90 platforms all over the world. And my name is Ron Clayton. I'm your host for today. I have a special privilege. First of all, I want to welcome everyone that's coming on board either directly or indirectly to our show. What we do is on Fridays, this is dedicated to really our tribute and our friend and to our honorable friend who was an incredible man of God, an incredible husband, incredible leader, has been a designated honoree in the veterans. He's been to the veterans flight to Washington, D.C., 5-time nominee for Nobel Peace Prize, founded the Golden Rule Society 52 years ago, and still today he's still pumping. I'll tell you what, we had the deck ready. We got flight clearance from the conning tower, and we're going to be able to take it off here. And I'd like to say hello to and welcome Captain Len Kaine. Howdy on this Thanksgiving weekend, Len.
Well, it's nice to be able to say welcome aboard as well. I'm happy to be here. And ladies and gentlemen, here's the deal. I hope they all had a wonderful and a blessed Thanksgiving Day yesterday, and I want you to just continue doing it for now and always, because that's why we're here, to be thankful and appreciative of all the blessings and the good blessings of the good Lord and all the family and friends and neighbors and all that good stuff, because we're here to serve. That's the only reason. And I usually say when I welcome aboard to the show, now watch my lips. Of course, that's impossible, but everybody laughs and say, we can't see your lips because it's a radio show. And I always say, yeah, but I got your attention. And here's the first point I want to make. We're not selling anything. This is the Blog Talk radio show founded by Joel Griffing, the head of the Hope Collection years ago, and now Mr. Ron Clayton is filling in because the good Lord called Dr. Joel Griffing back to heaven with him. But we keep doing it. And that's the nice part about sharing the kindness campaign throughout the world. And I will focus on that. But one of the first favors that I request that you do is get yourself a piece of paper and a nice pen or a pencil, and you're going to take some notes. Because what we're going to do for you, simply this, is to offer the gifts that we offer to all of the people who are involved in the Golden Rule Society charity. 52 years is what Mr. Ron Clayton said, and we're going to keep doing it for now and always, because we're here. The goal is simple. Let's all get together and help make it a better world. And one of the things I'm going to tell you about, and I don't want you to miss it, is the Golden Rule Society's worldwide kindness campaign. That sounds pretty nice. It's very simple, it's very easy, very powerful, and the goal is simple this. It started many, many years ago when I graduated high school, and the next day I was going off to the Navy. And I had my little bag packed, ready to leave, and my mother stopped me before I left. And she said, Len, I want you to remember this. Wherever you go, whatever you do, whoever you meet, be kind. Now, those two words are in my heart, my soul, and my mind. And we continue doing it. And that's one of the reasons I founded a charity, Golden Rule Society. And we do it like this. The Golden Rule Society's kindness campaign follows right along. It says, with kindness and love and hope in your heart for peace in the world, treat others the way you want to be treated, truthfully, with dignity and respect. And some people say that's sharing the love that God gives you with others. And when you do it with a smile. Wonderful, wonderful. Now, wouldn't it be a wonderful world if we would all just live that way? Why be fighting and killing one another and destroying things and bang, boom? Just be courteous and kind and use the kindness campaign of the Golden Rule Society charity. Again and again, we're not selling anything. And if you want to invite any of your friends to come and listen to the rest of the show, because we have more opportunities and more kindness and good benefits, gifts, if you will, whatever you want to call them. So, again, you can go off and tell them to dial 714-816-4686 with a pencil and a piece of paper. And hear what they're going to do, because it benefits everybody. And we've got so many nice things to say and to share. Wow. As a matter of fact, we just got some great news about one of our senior advisors who started off as a young lady who had joined the military. She served her time, did a great job, was discharged, and married. 2 beautiful children, wonderful, wonderful kids, terrific, who have done so many good things together. And she's got a program that she put together, and picking up on everything that the Golden Rule Society has, she started in her own school with the blessing of the president or the chief guy at the college or at the school, high school, and it was what they called it was the Kindness Club. So all the kids, whenever classroom they were in, they could join a Kindness Club. It would not interfere with the teachers' work that they were doing and learning something, but they would just everything they did it with kindness. And it was very successful. So our goal right now is to have classroom in every school, in every city, in every state in the United States, and we might as well go to the rest of the world, each to have a kindness club without interfering with anything, but actually making a better life for everybody, and that includes the teachers. For crying out loud.
Len, can I just interrupt you a moment? I just want to add one thing to what you're saying. I actually have the package, which is how to set up a kindness club in your church school, your public school. It doesn't really matter. And we've got a whole outline, and it's got a little package where the kids, they actually get an apple for every time they do something kind. And it sort of creates a competition with the kids. So instead of looking at taking time to bully or be bad, they're all working for ways to get recognized for being good and reporting on it. That's the whole idea of the Kindness Club for kids. It helps teachers, it helps kids. So they're not spending time disciplining kids, they're out spending time talking about the great things and helping others. It improves the atmosphere for learning. And we're so excited. And that it was Mary Stanley and her daughter, Ariana. They created with you, Len, the Kindness Campaign for Kids. And we have. My phone number is 716-908-2300. Or my email is ronclayton52@gmail.com. You would like to get a set of the I can email anybody that kit, so the teacher can adapt it and set it up for them, and there's contact to talk to Mary or you on the kindness campaign. This is an international spreading like wildfire. I think they use the word viral. It's gone viral, Len, and we're so proud of you for creating it to start with.
It's awesome. And ladies and gentlemen, you got to take advantage of that offer put together for you by Mr. Ron Clayton. Either send him an email or call, whatever is convenient for you, to get yourself and your family, the children especially, focus on the kids. Let them grow up to be super duper kindness clubs. Sounds great. And I'm going to ask you again, Mr. Ron Clayton, please, if you would, tell us a little bit more about Mary Stanley's organization, where she does a radio show. And Ron, would you tell us a little bit more where she stands worldwide with her own radio show, please?
Well, sure. Well, Mary Stanley, I just have to let you know, you mentioned she was in the Army. She was active duty on 9/11. She was stationed at Fort Drum, which is north of Syracuse. And that morning in 9/11, the alarm went out from the police and the fire departments and the government to get the military down. We were under attack. So she was brought down as part of the crew. She was doing search and rescue, and she went through. When those towers came down, she was there. And I just want to say that that's the kind of hero that we have, who is the head of our communications and organization on the board of the Hope Collection. Then in that process, during some time and post-time of active duty, she had two wonderful children. She birthed two beautiful children, Ariana and David, and we call them a dynamic duo. And he's Luke Skywalker, and she's Princess. And so they are actually working together to do the kindness campaign for kids. And Mary has set up, she is a certified neurodiversity certified counselor and guidance has a business that actually helps people with children who are neurodivergent. And what that is that many times that's not just autism, but there are many other issues that families are dealing with. And Mary has become an international certified and recognized, I'll use the word expert. She is looked at, and people call her from all over the world. She's connected in Australia and in Europe, and she is recognized around the world in the medical field for being on cutting edge, changing how the past ways of trying to help children who are neurodivergent, how to help them. And in the past, the processes and the assumptions have all been changed. And there are new modern ways of understanding and helping children so they can be as normal. In fact, I would tell you this. Well, a year ago, May, we had a big celebration at the Naval Park on Memorial Day. And thousands of people came down for that tribute. In fact, Len, you were the keynote speaker that day on that day, tribute to all the veterans we've lost. The kids, 20 of them, came from Minnesota in a van 14 hours. These two children, they had never traveled before, and then they came to Buffalo. She was part of the kids that put out 7,000 flags representing all the veterans that have lost their lives through and after post-war traumatic syndrome. Anyways, their children, you would not know. They were here all weekend. They came to our house. We had a big picnic and kids, all these kids running all over the house, the neighborhood. We didn't have one problem. You didn't know that any kid had any kind of issue. And so they were kids. And I didn't have a swimming pool. I didn't have a swing set. I didn't have any games for them. They had chalk with a big color on the sidewalk. But they had no problems. They had fun. We had a big cookout, and everybody had a great time. The reason I tell you that, under the tutelage and the leadership and the motherhood and fatherhood of Andy and Mary Stanley, using the techniques and the systems that she has evolved and developed many of them have gone contrary to what was acceptable or helped. Most of the times, the previous ways people treated their children was contrary and was actually created more problems for them. And this Mary has completely revolutionized that whole thing. She's been recognized for it. We can't say enough about what she's doing. I'll tell you how far it's gone. Carnival Cruise Line has hired a company using many of the techniques that Mary has instilled. And now if you are a family and you have children who are neurodivergent and they want to bring them on the cruise, Carnival Cruise actually has a kit that the parents get to use with the children. So when they come on board the ship, they're all treated, and all through the process, they're able to travel. That's the key thing here, Len. I know I'm carrying on here, but I can't help it. It's so incredible. And so Mary is taking that, and even Carnival Cruise has a program that is all set up so that families can take their kids on cruises. So this May, when we honor you, Len Caine, Captain Len Caine, on board the Freedom, Carnival Freedom, first week in May, we'll be going to Turks and Caicos. Mary and Andy and the kids are going to be there, so it'll be the first time you guys get to meet them firsthand. And so we'll be there, but I'll tell you what, it's so wonderful to see how she has led the charge in helping and moving that whole, up until 5 years ago, the only time you heard anything, all those kids are just, they called kids anything, and they always blame the parents for all kinds of bad stuff because they didn't know how to really help. They just did the best they could. But now there are specific things that parents can do. And what it teaches kids to do is to be kids. See, our world has tried to make kids adults when they're babies and when they're kids. And so with that in mind, Mary has totally changed the world upside down for how to take care of kids that are neurodivergent. And her kids, I'm telling you, you could not, they come in the room, they are incredible. They are well-behaved. Yeah, they're kids. They have issues. They get mad at each other. They fight like brother and sister. But you would never know in any way, shape, or form unless you studied and understood because of the way that Mary has learned and is learning and then getting all kinds of certifications and training to become this expert. And so you can reach her because she has a show on Mondays where you can talk to her and get information. And many times she's not on the call today at this point, but many times when she's on the show, you can talk to her directly. So I'm going to turn it back to you, Len. We got a couple other areas that we need to talk about today, too.
Oh, absolutely. But what Mary Stanley has been doing and is doing, and with her children and her wonderful husband, it's just unbelievable that to be recognized for what she is doing, picking up on the Golden Rule Society's kindness campaign, nationwide, worldwide, and I think that she does her program goes and she's like listed in 166 or so shows in the world. Now, how would you like to be a speaker and you goes on to talk to that many 166 world person? Because this show that we have right now, that Mr. Ron Clayton has put together, we are now speaking to 90 countries. And we always say we know who we're talking, but we don't know who's listening. We wish that more people would listen because it benefits everybody, because the focus is something easy. We just want to help make it a better world. With kindness and love and hope in your heart for peace in the world. Treat others the way you want to be treated, truthfully, with dignity and respect. And when you do that, you're sharing the love that God gives you with others. And when you do it with a smile. That always adds just a little bit extra, but a wonderful, wonderful opportunity. And there's so many other things that we have going on. And it slides right into the things that are going on. Because we talked about being in combat. And, yes, I was, as a Navy fighter pilot, I got to brag a little bit. I was the East Coast Navy Top Gun and the All-Navy Top Gun, and then became an instructor pilot in combat tactics. And the thing is, those tactics were just adopted by, interestingly enough, the United States Air Force. Heard about what we were doing, and I was aboard the USS Enterprise on a visit. They came out to which is the Enterprise, which was the largest concentration of controlled nuclear power in the world, as an aircraft carrier. 8 reactors, downstairs boiling water, I used to say. But they came out to visit, and they wanted to know about people gave it a nickname, the CAT program, Kaine Air Tactics. And very simple, 3-dimensional, offensive, defensive. And what we did when we went to combat, we were the first squadron that did not lose a single airplane in combat for 6 months, and then we did a second one for another 6 months, a full year without a loss. That was impressive, and that's why the Air Force got involved, and they implemented the program. And it took them about a little less than a week after they started implementing. They sent me a message out to the carrier, and they said, "Len, thanks a lot. It's working very well. We've cut our losses significantly, and it looks like they're going to keep cutting down the losses." And that's why we're here. Why waste and why keep hurting people when you can be safe and effective in everything you do? It doesn't need to be in combat. It can be in business or just living your life. And we have something that I call in the Golden Rule Society, we have the golden dollar. It's the size of a dollar bill. And on one side of the dollar is an action plan for living, which means here's how to live a life that's just absolutely pleasant and adorable and fun to live. And on the other side of the $1 bill, the lucky buck people start calling it now, is an action plan for business, whether you are working for somebody or people are working for you. And if you follow the teachings of the world's most successful people, it's an automatic guarantee that you're going to be more successful in your life. And it's, like I say, the size of a dollar bill. And people say, hey, how do I get one of those? And again, we're not selling anything, but if you like to get one, and if you're listening, you got a piece of paper and your pencil handy, very simple. Send a stamped, self-addressed envelope to Golden Rule Society. And the address is very simple, 711. 711 is a nice, easy number, and that is in Coronado, California, Coronado, Coronado, California, 92178, that 0711. Now, what you do when you get that, what we do is we just simply open up your letter. There you have a stamp of that, and we send you the Kindness Campaign program. Actually, it's the lucky buck making you successful in your life and in your business. And basically, it's free. Why not? Some people also include a little donation, but here's the point. Our Golden Rule Society charity, we're all non-paid volunteers. When people don't make a donation to us, would be $1 or more, what we do is we give it and share it with other charities, churches, and whoever the needy are, here, there, and everywhere. Whatever we get, we give. And that's just the way it is, and that's the way we're going to stay. That's the nice part about it. And that's one of the big reasons that we have 5 nominations for the Nobel Peace Prize. And as Ron mentioned, but he didn't, let me say it, in 2014, Golden Rule Society and myself, we were selected as the number 2 organization in the world for the Nobel Peace Prize. Well, close enough, but we'll keep working on it and see if somebody really cares. But that's why we're here to serve, and that's why we're serving you. And we'll keep up the good work because that's what's happening. And while I'm on a roll, I want to tell you, I mentioned it being in combat. I'm a fighter pilot up high up at altitude, defending everybody and making sure that the bad guys weren't hurting any of our people. But who's down on the ground? The U.S. Marine Corps. And big difference, height-wise, never met any of those people down on the ground until years later when one of the gentlemen who was there, one of the Marines, he was retired from the Marine Corps and as an officer, and then he went back to college and became an attorney. Really a brilliant man, wonderful man. And he made contact with me, and wouldn't you know it, he's now a senior advisor with the Golden Rule Society. And he, like the other dozen or so people that we have as senior advisors, when any one of them does a great job, I always tell them, gentlemen, ladies, you did a great job. I'm going to double your salary. And they all, doesn't take them very long for me to tell me, hey, Len, 2 times nothing is still nothing. So, as I said, we're all non-paid volunteers. But here's the deal. Mr. Jim Kyle, the fellow I told you about, got to be an attorney. He said, Len, I want you to go down to Texas, and I want you to meet this gentleman who was retired from the Marine Corps. He was medically discharged, and he was back in college because he was injured in combat. And Jim Kyle said he was a pretty sharp individual. I said, okay, I'll go down. So I left California, went down to Texas, and got to meet Mr. Alexander Candelario. Tall, handsome, very dignified fella, good sense of humor and a good sense of brilliance, if you will. And I said, well, Alexander, what are you doing that I should be here to see it? And he showed me what he was doing. Technology-wise, as I said, terrific. And he has his little organization. He says, I call it the Intiva Health Group. I said, what does Intiva mean? Well, it's a short acronym for informational, technology, videos, all that sort of stuff. And that's the name of his organization, Intiva. So I looked at it and I said, Alexander, this is something special. So what I did right then, I said, we're going to fund your organization. You're going to have a corporation, and we're going to put together for you, with you, free of charge, you're going to be in business, sharing this information that you put together with the medical industry. Well, let me make a long story short, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't want to bore you. But at Intiva Health, just about 3 years ago, selected, we are now number 1 in the world, the entire world, number 1, supporting the medical industry. As a matter of fact, my wife Ann and I, in a couple of weeks or so, we're going to be going over to Arizona in California, in the U.S. of A., and we're going to help raise the flag on the 3rd manufacturing plant over there. And the 3rd one is like 5 times bigger than the previous 2. Pretty good. And what these plants do, they manufacture all the necessary things that doctors, nurses, hospitals, all the pills, support things that take away pain and suffering and all that sort of stuff. We're going to help raise the flag and continue on. And it's a wonderful feeling, ladies and gentlemen, to wake up in the morning and say, I wonder how many lives we saved just this past day or the week. But that tugs at it, and that's why we're here to serve. So make it a point when you go to our website, goldenrulesociety.com, That's our site. Now, there are many things there, gifts for you, but you can find in there Antiva Health. When I tell doctors about it, that they should visit, they said, oh, yeah, I've heard about it, but I don't know. I said, well, you ought to go take a peek. Well, they do, and usually they call me back in about a couple of 3 days or so, and they say, Len, why didn't you tell me about this sooner? Because that's how impeccable it is and the impact that it has on helping people all over the world. So that's Antiva Health, #1 in the world supporting the medical industry. I could go on, but Ron, I'm going to turn it back over to you for a minute. I'm just going to sip on my coffee, and then I'll jump right back in when you give me a call. I'm standing by. I'm ready to go.
Glenn. All right. Thanks, Len. Have a nice coffee break there. Well, I'd like to carry on a little bit more while you're talking about with the Antiva Health. You have so many more things that you brought to the Hope Collection and all our listeners. And by the way, you can join the Optimize Your Life on the Hope Collection or the Golden Rule Society by going to their websites, thehopecollection.com or goldenrulesociety.org. And when you sign up, then you can take advantage of all the programs that they have. Antiva Health is this unbelievable company. First of all, let me just preface some more background on the company. One of the things they have, a division, is pharmaceuticals. This new plant that they're opening up that you're dedicating, Len, actually is a pharmaceutical manufacturing plant. They make medicines. Anybody here I know has been watched on TV, listening on the show, you've seen gummy bear vitamins and food supplements and pharmaceuticals. Everything used to be in a cap. First it was a big capsule the size of a horse, or pills that people have trouble swallowing. Now the gummy bear company invented the product. Well, Antiva is the largest producer of pharmaceutical grade organic gummy bear. They own the gummy. They are recognized as the #1 supplier in the gummy world. It's American. It's USA. It's made in Texas. I'm sorry, the manufacturing of many of the things in Texas. Also, these plants are in Phoenix, Arizona, but they're American. You know what they're talking about? How the Chinese have taken over many companies, went overseas, and we have a trouble because now they're in China. They're not our friends. But Antiva, an American company created in this century, actually in the last decade, has become the #1 supplier for helping the medical industry. By the way, that was the American Medical Society, American Cancer Society, American Heart Society, many other. They got together and they graded that Antiva Health is the #1 supplier for health support in the world. That goes on to say the integrity of who they are, what they do. Alexander, as Len had said, was a brilliant man, a computer and mathematical genius. And he actually created a system of communications known as blockchain. It's a lockstep methodology in the Internet of communicating. It is so secure, the federal government has adopted the program and using it for our Defense Department and many other secure, the CIA, and because the system can't be broken into by our enemies. It's secure, and it's actually, to give you an idea how it got into the marketplace, when we had the pandemic, and they wanted to create they were trying to figure out how can we treat this, and the doctors of the world were able to communicate quietly, securely, using this system, blockchain system. And so that, because in the past, companies were not allowed to share information. They couldn't do it. It was against the law. Well, they opened up. I will tell you how it became available. Is this gentleman named Donald Trump, our president, allowed that to happen. So we got, in 9 months, say what you want, we got a vaccine that did help many people. Now, some people, but of course, the government, the bureaucrats got carried away, and they said, hey, everybody's got to have it. Well, not everybody needed it. Kids didn't need it, and there are many people that have side effects from it. They forced everybody to have it, and that's not good. but many, many more, millions of people were saved because we had that vaccine. Folks, everybody's heard of the Salk vaccine. That cured polio, which was the scourge of the world. And we eliminated polio. In fact, it was considered gone until the last couple of years. It was eradicated. Well, that's because Jonas Salk invented it. It took him 9 years to get it approved. Well, folks, Antiva Health helped secure all the medical companies and conditions to be able to get that vaccine, COVID, to help people save lives. 9 months. See, we are in a cutting world of cutting-edge technologies today, and that's just one thing that Antiva Health. Well, and again, there are people, there's issues. I'm not discussing. I'm not waiting. I'm not saying that everything's okay with that, but it was so much good was done by it. Lives were saved. In the pandemic in 1918. Millions and millions and millions and millions of people died because they didn't have any vaccine. How many more lives were saved because of what Antiva Health was a part of trying to help and being able to help the communication. And, of course, beyond just that time, now things are going forward in many ways. So we have a company. They have a division that, let's say you've got, many of us are a little getting into the place where we're going to doctors more often than others. And doctors are prescribing, they get new pharmaceutical salesmen there every week selling new products. And sometimes they've been tested and approved, but you know what? Your body may not be good for them. And the doctor is going to take in literature and the salesman and said, hey, a sales girl, you should get this. Well, what if that attacks your body, doesn't make you better, it kills you or gets you sick? Well, you can have a test genetically, like the COVID test. You take in your swab, you send it in Antiva Health, and it will tell you, get a binder back for your primary care doctor that will tell you what medicines or products that should not go in your body. And your doctor can help save your life from side effects. This is very, very strategic, and it's available through Antiva Health. Many insurance companies are now paying for that if you take it. Now, if you don't, you got to pay for it up front. It's only $200. But imagine the kind of peace of mind that you can have on your medical side of your life. And so you can have access to that. It's Antiva Health. They're in Houston, Texas. You can go right online, contact them directly, and get the details. And I know people that have taken advantage of it. I have a sister that's allergic to most anesthesiology stuff when you go into surgeries. She almost died one time. Well, having used the system, that's not a problem anymore because they can't give her certain medicines. They know now. Many hospitals are now finding and utilizing genetic pre-testing before they do things because they now know how to prevent problems from what we're doing to get solved. So you have a friend with Antiva Health, and they've got all kinds of help. They have one division helping people that go to school, college, whatever, especially school. They have to get certified. You can have a certificate, a piece of paper that says you're a doctor, but until you get certified, you can't practice, or nurse, or any other specialization in medicine. Well, Antiva Health has a division that they are able to get people certified in super time, and it's doctors. That's what Len was talking about when he tells people, doctors, friends, about it. And then they find out that they can get their certifications like lightning. Sometimes those certifications take a year to get approved. Antiva Health is cutting edge, getting people in the medical field get certified. So really important. So they have clinics that you can take advantage of for your health. So that's why I'm excited that Len brought Antiva Health to the Hope Collection and everybody that's listening in today. So, Len, are you back?
Oh, absolutely. Standing by because it's just wonderful news, ladies and gentlemen. You just don't know how enthusiastic people can get here in the Golden Rule Society charity to know that we're helping make it a better world. Simplify. Just do the work of the Lord. Because people ask, what are you doing this evening? Just doing the work of the Lord because, as you know, he doesn't pay me anything, but I understand his retirement program is out of this world. At least we hope and pray for that. But the nice part about it, ladies and gentlemen, is we can be kind of generally pleasant about it all. But you got to know that we have things that are just going to be helping you. And I hope you have your paper and pencils handy, because here's one of the things that I want you to like. And this is part of the HOPE program. And what you have to do is go to the site. It's called Hope for You. There you're going to find success programs, educational, motivational, inspirational, character building guidance for all. And we call it Success for You. And that's why we're here. We want you to be more successful in life. And one of the popular programs that we have, that people are very, very popular, at the Golden Rule Society charity, and I'll give it to you again, www.goldenrulesociety, that's all one word, .org, charitable, nonprofit, tax-exempt, nationwide, worldwide. And when you get there, one of the nice things you'll find is that there's a Wise Traveler program. I'll give you an example, because a good friend of mine here in the San Diego area had to go on a business trip to New York City with his wife, round trip, and he called up and he was going to have to pay, and I'll just use these as example numbers. It was going to cost him $1,000. Okay, and he, of course, convinced and confirmed with them that it was a discount from the Golden Rule Society, and with that, it was only $600. So he saved $400 as an example on one trip. Now, the numbers change because each one of the airlines, they control when they offer a discount and how much of a discount they will. I have no control, and I don't even bother, as long as they're courteous and kind and want to help us out. If they have empty seats, instead of carrying them back and forth across the country, they would rather have somebody in there at a discount to get some money in their pocket rather than nothing. So that's what they've offered, and they have total control. So what discounts they offer, that's up to them. And that's the deal. And that's all you have to do is ask, just by going to the Wise Traveler. That's on the website of the Golden Rule Society. And you can't miss out. And that's not only all we have. We have some other things that I think you're going to like. Because I had a situation that I heard about, and my doctor gave me a prescription. So I went to my favorite drugstore here in Coronado, California, and I asked the guy that worked there, and I know him, so I could ask him. I said, by the way, store here, the drugstore, are you part of what they call the prescription discount program? And he looked back and forth, and he says, Len, we're not. But across the street, 4 blocks down, there's a drugstore. So after I got my medicines, the next time I went to that drugstore, and they gave me a nice discount. And the discounts are as high, I've been told, as up high as savings up to 80%. I have no control over that. So all you have to do, you have to ask the drugstore, are you a part of the program? Because they don't advertise it, obviously. Why? To save money. But they will offer it if you ask them. That's one of the best deals throughout. So anyway, we all have another program that we have. I know you all send video. I mean, you send emails to everybody, family, friends, neighbors, whoever. Well, there are a couple of programs, organizations that have what they call video emails. And what you have to do is you have to buy a little box that you attach to the top of your computer, the screen, and I use it as much as I possibly can. And I click on the button, the little light comes on, and I look ahead, and I'm speaking into this television this picture shaker. And I talk maybe a minute or two at most. But people can see my smile. They can see my personality. They can hear, listen to what I'm talking about, what I want. When I thank them and I expend the love and concerns and all that sort of stuff. And everybody thinks, well, that's wonderful. Instead of reading a piece of paper or seeing a nice card, happy anniversary or something like that, but to hear you're saying it, happy anniversary, happy birthday, happy whatever. And that's what it's worth. But it's very popular. Your choice. And again, I always say, watch my lips. I'm not selling anything. But if you like it, that's fine. If you don't, that's your choice too. Wonderful stuff. That's the prescription discount program. And of course, we have all kind of other things that we've been involved in. Oh, gosh, it goes on. The kindness campaign that Mary Stanley is doing, and you've got to be a part of it. The Hope for You program, helping people worldwide, giving them the hope that they can be more successful in life and in business. Wow. Educational, motivational, inspirational. Why it might be character-building guidance, success for you. And, of course, the Hope for You program through Mr. Ron Clayton, who's the boss man now. And, by the way, he's one of the senior advisors in the Golden Rule Society and doing a great job. And we have other gentlemen and ladies are senior advisors. And, Ron, I'm going to ask, do we have any visitors today? Is that Mr. Ron Clayton? No.
You know who
might be on board?
Well, first of all, there's someone on their area code is 908-209-9202. Is that Gary down in New Jersey?
No, that's Bob Oakley.
I'm sorry. Hi, Bob.
Bob Oakley. God bless you. Welcome aboard, Bob Oakley. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Bob Oakley is something special, one of the senior advisors, and what a gentleman. I mean, talk about a successful businessman who's now a senior advisor to the Golden Rule Society. Here's a guy that was with one of the major organizations, corporations in the United States. He was one of the top guys, one of the super top vice presidents. And he saw what we're doing here in the Golden Rule Society, and he's on board. And Mr. Robert Bolcom, we call him Bob. God bless you, Bob. Welcome aboard. I hope you had a great Christmas. I'm not a Christmas, but
God bless.
Thank you. But back over to you and tell us all about yourself and what's going on, please, Bob. Thank you.
Thanksgiving was a great day yesterday, and I hope you guys had a wonderful time on Thanksgiving as well, and receiving many blessings like we do. And I just am so happy that I can be part of a program that you guys are involved in, the Hope Collection and the Golden Rule Society. And the partnership we have is just a wonderful partnership that I believe God has put us all together so we can work together and help so many people to be more successful in their lives and to solve whatever issues they have in their life, because we're all solution finders. We help people to find solutions for issues that they may have in their life or things that they want to do that they haven't been able to figure out how to do it. So we all have special skills that we've been blessed with by the Lord, and we can use those skills to help other people, and we do use those skills every single day. And I just am thankful that God has put me in a position at my age where I can still help people, and I'm still doing that every day and every day and every day. I'm helping you and you and you and you, whoever you are, whoever's listening. whoever we know as friends and family, and we're helping them just to accomplish what they want to accomplish in their lives, and to be the kind of person that God wants them to be a believer, to be a giver, and to help other people and help them to help other people. So with that, I just hope that I want to thank you, Len, and I want to thank you, Ron, for all the things that you do all the time, every day, to help people. And it's just it's a wonderful party we have here, a party of helping people. And God bless you guys and your families. So I'm gonna turn it back to you guys.
Oh man,
Bob,
this is country.
God,
country boy.
Mr. Bob Oakley has a nickname, the Mighty Oak, and is well deserved because he does so much good for so many people. Continue your great work, Bob. I mean, gee, wow. Mighty Oak.
Hey, Len,
Bob Oakley.
we've got another star on the phone, Len. We've got another all-star. He's known as Country Boy, and he is infamous because of his way that he has dedicated his life. He's an artist, an accomplished artist, has incredible work, and the years been going and we're going forward. He's going to be recognized even more. But he has been dedicated serving his whole life. He is also a board member of the Hope Collection. And I know he's also a special advisor, senior advisor to the Golden Rule Society. So this person I'm talking about, hello, Country Boy. How are you today, and how was your Thanksgiving?
Hey, well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And to answer your question right away, Ron, Thanksgiving is every day to me. Everything that I do starts with thanks, and everything that I do ends with thanks. And I'm thanking him right in the middle where we are right now. As Oakman was talking, I was starting to think, wow, yeah, one big giant nation under love, because God reminds us that I am love. But love is not love until one gives it away. Shout out to you, Len Caine, International Humanitarian Man of the Year, because love is love when you give it away, man. And you've always been a man of giving. And then when you're starting to open up the mindset for America with kindness, Ron, you love to hear me say it. We care enough to share enough information with you so that you'll need to know what you need to know in order to be able to grow. But realizing that we're in the information stage, if everybody could bless themselves, then we wouldn't need each other. So when you heard Mr. Caine talking, he says kindness. We don't care if you graduated from Harvard or Yale or just got out of jail. It requires no special anything that everybody doesn't have. To each one of us a measure was given, and it's easy to be kind. And Lynn always reminds us, just treat other people the way that you want to be treated. But see, when you start to partner up and understand that we have one major cause under our hearts and under our minds, we're about our Father's business. So, Ron, when I listen to you talk, you call it hope for you. But what a lot of people don't understand is hope is like the grandfather or the mother, nature, to something called faith, because faith is a substance of things hoped for. Did y'all hear that word? If you have nothing to hope for, then you have nothing to activate your faith for, which means that y'all calling people out. You even let Country Boy that lives out here in the great city of Atlanta, we call it the dirty, dirty South. We came from the dirt. We're going to go back to the dirt. But I simplified it because my grandmama gave it to me. She calls it a blessing to be a blessing. Shakespeare wrote it and gave it to a Hamlet. So if everybody could bless themselves, Ron, we wouldn't need each other. Just as Oakman and Lynn, everybody's saying that. So we're calling you out starting today. We're not going to wait till New Year's. We're calling all people out. from all different parts of the world. We're talking about every man, every woman, every boy, and every girl. We're going to come together to help make for a better world. How are we going to do that? By continuing to love on each other. We're going to keep practicing, man. We're going to practice and practice and practice. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Practice doesn't mean you get perfect. Practice means you create a habit of excellence by doing unto others before they do unto you. Because when you give love, hope, and kindness away, guess what happens? Eventually it comes right back to you, even if it does not come from the person that you originally gave it to. But if the truth was really told, because the truth is the truth until it ain't, what the world needs now is love, sweet love. It's the only thing that there's just too little of. Back to you, Ron.
Well,
God bless you. Oh, God, Dorsey, you were something special. Ladies and gentlemen, I could probably spend the rest of the show just saying nice things about Mr. Brad Dorsey. He is dedicated to helping others. And what a life to live. Keep up your great work, Brad Dorsey, you and yours now and always. It's an honor and a pleasure to be associated with you and have you as a senior advisor in the Golden Rule Society. And I'll turn it over to the boss man, Ron. It's probably getting close to quitting time, but we want to let people know that we're still here with things to offer. Over to you, Ron.
Well, thank you so much, Len, and everybody else, Bob and Country Boy and folks listening in. I do want to let you know we're coming up on the fourth, the final quarter we're in the final month of the year with the Christmas season, and we're so excited because Mary Stanley is lined up. I believe we'll be starting. Santa Claus will be joining some of our shows throughout the week. By the way, you may not know it, but Santa Claus has been ill, and he's been under medication and doctoring, and he's getting better. So we haven't got the schedule yet, but we will shortly. You know, he's pretty busy this time of year, but official Santa Claus will be on board and story time and talking to kids. So that'll be coming up. Keep an ear open when we're going to be announcing that. Other things, we've got some shows that are coming up, the specials coming up into the Christmas season. And we always want to remember, you know, the one thing that we can give away is our smile and our heart. And I pray for each one of you as we go into the final month of the year that you look forward to that. I think this year coming up is going to be terrific. There's going to be more blessings and there are more people. By the way, I'd like to ask you a question. Have you noticed how much people are they seem to be up right now? You walk to the stores. I know today they call it Black Friday. Shopping is crazy today. There's people more. They're going to do more business today, both in stores and on the internet, than any other time of year. And commerce is what makes the government makes the economy grow. And people are looking more optimistic because we have a new leader in the White House that believes in people, believes in God, believes in blessing men and women and children. And so we know we've got to be on the right side of God's kingdom and helping it grow. And that's what we do with the Hope Collection and Golden Rule Society. I want to thank Len and thank everyone that participates on a daily basis with us. We'll be talking about more things as we grow, and we'll look forward to seeing you and more shows going into the next week. Thank you, everyone, and have a great weekend.
Yes. Ron, we got less than 2 minutes left. I'll talk real fast. I beg your pardon, sir. One last quick testimony. Went to my church this past Sunday. Old Bean Creek Baptist Church over in Salty, Georgia. We celebrated 186 years of history. In the old church, they let people give what they call testimonies, which is nothing but your personal story. Quick one, real fast. The first thing the pastor says when he came up and said, it's better to give than receive. I had just received a phone call going up the steps to the church. A friend of mine at the age of 19 gave her grandmother a kidney, and they were celebrating the anniversary of 19 years later. Her grandmama still living with a kidney that she paid for it and gave knowingly that she wasn't going to get it back. Then all of a sudden, I got another phone call from my business partner since I moved back to the mountains. He's been doing dialysis for about 7 years, waiting on the kidney. And the Spirit spoke, said, those that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. He came home for Thanksgiving and spent Thanksgiving with his family. Last one, before we turned out, the choir instructor said, we're going to sing a song, Victory is Mine. But he wanted to remind everybody that we're fighting from victory, not for victory. So see it if it already is, you guys. The divine creator told me to tell you in closing, he's getting ready to do a new thing that eyes have never seen and ears have never heard of, but we're praising him and giving him thanks right now before it happens, because he's not trying to figure out how to get us to our destiny. He's been preparing us for the destiny that he's prepared for us. Back to you, Ron.
Well, thank you, Country Boy. And again, it's with great thanks for everybody here and blessings. Have a great day, everybody, and a great weekend. God bless everybody. Bye now.
God bless everybody. Bye-bye for now.